Hello guys, it's Dawid. It's been a long while, hasn't it? I've been fine, believe it or not. Still microdosing with the Subox on. Last methadone drink I had was in December, marking about half a year now. I feel more alive. I feel more, period. It is not a sedative, super hard sedative, and that numbs you out and takes your energy and your passions and everything away. It's a lot better way. I would now recommend that people use this Suboxone microdosing technique or method to taper off methadone faster. Now today I was at the clinic again, as I see them monthly, to get my Suboxone, 14 milligrams a day, and today I told them I'm going back on the ball of tapering, as that's what I was doing when I got off methadone, and I don't want to forget what my goal was. I need to be persistent. That's what I value most. And so today I told them it's time, and we went down to 13. Currently waiting for my script. Gonna go get that filled. Starting this week at 13. We'll be going down. Same with the clonazepam. In 2 weeks I see my doctor. I'll be telling her time to taper. Let's start the program. I've been doing all right, my friends. Sure, I have my depressions. All addicts, ex-addicts, people who are, had prolonged exposure and abuse tend to be depression prone, and I am a lot still. I want to tell you something about a drug called Sublocade. Sublocade is a buprenorphine or Suboxone. What's in Suboxone is buprenorphine, and what Sublocade is an injection of buprenorphine right in the belly, and it's an oil, like an oil form, because there's a little lump in there, and that lump is the oil, the lump is the drug, the lump is the Sublocade, and it dissolves itself over a month, and you don't have to take your pills every day and so on. It is a new technique, new method that's being recommended, and it's recommended to go and have a shot every 28 days. But if you happen to be late, it can be administered up to 6 weeks between shots in specific cases. That's something they're trying to introduce me into and talk me into, but I told them I'm old school, and I've been very persistent and consistent in the way I've been doing it, tapering off and quitting drugs and tapering off the meds in rehab. So since I've been consistent, and I am old school, I said to the doctor, I will just remain at what I'm doing. I no longer like the needle thing. I don't like the idea of having lumps in my body. All unnecessary, but it might work for a lot of people. I guess some people will be trying that out. I wonder, I would like to talk to some of them. So now, short video just before I made this one was I picked up some garbage around the Rexo pharmacy in downtown, as there was a lot of drug paraphernalia laying around the pharmacy, literally around it. You know, crack pipes, meth pipes, COVID masks, other garbage, baggies from fentanyl or who knows what. And I picked them all up. I went inside the pharmacy and I told them, you know, I'm part of the community action team groups, and sometimes I clean up dirty paraphernalia of the streets and I supply clear to the streets. But I want you to know this is what I just gathered in a couple minutes around your pharmacy, and it is not a good thing. I need you to know it. I need you to acknowledge it. And she said, oh, next time we would prefer you wouldn't touch those things because of liability, blah, blah, blah. Well, I am trained, I know what I'm doing, and I'm telling you again, this is around your pharmacy. You should be cleaning that and looking after that, not me. Very wrong. Another thing I want to address, I've never seen so many street folk and addicted people in the streets as I see today. Things are getting worse in this region. Fentanyl is by design. Why would they put out a drug out there, suddenly a heroin out there that is 100 times stronger than the other stuff? Because it kills people. It is designed to kill people. It is designed to keep you going in circles like rehabs that release you after 8 days, whether you're ready or not. Why is there one doctor working at the CVRC at the Comox Valley Addiction Center? One doctor on staff with one helper, just training, when we have hundreds of addicted people here. But you can afford, the city of Courtney can afford to have 4 to 6 cruisers sitting around called Connect Center and their encampment they have built for them and harass them. So what happens if that one doctor gets sick or something happens to him? You're gonna get a replacement, someone who will just be there as a replacement, and you will force people to wear masks even though mask mandates were lifted. As you don't want one doctor to get sick, because then you have to close the rehab. What do you mean close the rehab? What do you mean let all the people down? In Canada, new bylaws have gone through, by the way. In Oshawa, in Peterborough, and now in British Columbia. That is illegal now by law to home, feed, or clothe the homeless. They put devices under bridges that make high-pitched sounds so they cannot sleep. In Vancouver, they took all of their stuff, belongings, put it in a dump and kicked them off the streets. It's now illegal to help them, and they're locking up priests around Canada who help the homeless. This is quite an evil agenda, and by design. You have no intentions in helping these people who are now immune to this new fentanyl and carfentanil, which are hundreds times stronger than heroin. And no wonder we are losing over 2,000 people a year in British Columbia, and lost over 12,000 in the 7 years, and over 50,000 in Canada over the last 7 years. No wonder. With a couple shelters in town and 10 or 15 cannabis shops, one safe injection site, how do you intend to solve the problem? Or do you have no intentions at all? Sedate the masses, the useless eaters, right? Well, Bill C-36 just passed in British Columbia, and that redefines what informed consent means. Allows doctors to jab you for whatever they want, persecutes doctors that go against the agenda. They're going to be overlooked by feds from now on. And you cannot criticize, you cannot go against, you must obey. Insanity. Check into Bill 36. which passed in British Columbia, and now they're intending to pass it on the East Coast in New Brunswick, is a very, very bad bill. Now we need to help the homeless. I have one good news. Finally, discrimination of possession of 2.5 grams of just about any drugs, if you're 18 and over, it's now not, you will not be incarcerated or prosecuted. It is now allowed legally to have 2.5 grams or less of any drug on person, as long as you're not crossing borders or doing things like that if you're over 18. Now under 18 there's a lot of different regulations, but at least decriminalization is happening, and needs to happen, because most of these people don't belong in a cage with crazy criminals. They belong in health centers. May I present the medicine wheel? I've been learning, and I will be learning for a long time, with a man called Standing Bear. We're learning the ways of our Aniskawa network people, the original people of these lands. Now check out my summer hat. I hope you like it. That's pheasant and peacock. And here we have hawk and bald eagle and pheasant. Rights and freedoms of the people, for the people, by the people. I'm doing all right, and I encourage you to follow the path as it's worked for me. Talk to you soon, my friends. Let's try and help our marginalized people who are getting harassed. Make our presence wherever it is necessary as freedom fighters to protect the people and the lands. One love. Talk to you soon. Keep on keeping. As the further you push, the closer you will be to what I call a line of no return. Cross that line, you'll be like me now. I want nothing to do with needles. They freak me out. I used to bang for 20 years, my friends. This is where I'm at now. I haven't made video for a long time, and people have been asking me, a couple people, what's happening. They want to see my face and see how I'm doing. Well, here I am. Love you all, and I'm here for you always. Friends who are reaching out, either for themselves or their children, keep reaching out, as I'm here for you. One love. Freedom and stuff.